Hey everybody, how's it going out there? I'm going to come at you today with another story. Now this is not going to be a childhood story. I'll come back. I've still got some more childhood stories I'll add to the mix later on, but I don't know what to call this. This is a story about Hiney the Mule. And so this could potentially be a fairly long story. To tell it correctly, it would be about a 30 to 45 minute story. I am not going to make it a 30 to 45 minute story. I'm going to try to cut to the chase. But there was this old man who lived up at not in the mountains, but lived at the foot of the mountains, kind of in where you maybe have two mountains coming together, and right there in the valley. He lived up there. He did a little bit of, had a big garden where he had a mule. And the mule's name was Hiney. I don't know why, but he named the mule Hiney the Mule. Like, I'm going to kick you in the hiney. Not Jaime, but Hiney. And so, and he would use the mule out there, pulling a little plow and stuff like that. And eventually the old man got older where he wasn't, doing the garden. He couldn't keep up with it. And so he just had the mule out there, just feed and water. That's all. And he had his daughter and son-in-law and grandson lived down at the bottom of the valley. Go down the valley, down the mountain, down the valley. In the very bottom of the valley, they lived in a little town down there. And he would typically go into town about every other Sunday, have a Sunday dinner with them. So they were talking one Sunday about not doing the garden anymore, not keeping up with it. And, the suggestion come up, why don't you just sell the mule? You could use the money for whatever you wanted to. It'd be a better life for Hiney. He could come into whatever, a nice stable, or, do some work for, another, maybe a farmer or something like that. And so they worked out a plan where the next Saturday or Friday night, when the boy got out of school, he would go up to the grandfather's house. He was going to stay the night. And then Saturday, they would bring the mule into town, sell the mule. Grandfather would stay at his daughter-in-law's house that night, have their Sunday dinner, and travel back home Sunday evening. And everything went good. They start bringing the mule in. So they had a rope, tied to him, like a harness tied to him. And they're leading the mule in. And as they're going down this, little, almost like a little bit better than a trail, but not much. As they get into town, getting down the valley, it turns into a road. And so there's, little houses dotted every now and then. And so they head out one morning, and there's as they come up to a house, there's a couple of old guys sitting on the porch rocking, having their morning pipe. I just added that to the story. I don't know whether they were having a morning pipe or not. Out there having their coffee and their morning pipe. And the old man knows everybody up and down the valley, because he walks up and down this valley, at least every other week, if not more often. He visits the neighbors, and they greet each other. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, we're taking Hiney in. We're going to sell him. I don't use him anymore. And the two old guys, they keep walking. The two old guys on the porch, they think he's out of earshot. And they say, boy, that old man, he's kind of a dumb old man. I mean, it's good that he's going to sell the mule, but both him and the boy are going to walk all the way into town when one of them could be riding the mule. And the old man hears them, and he thinks, you know what? That's probably true. I don't want to be stupid or seem like I'm dumb. So he hops up on the mule. The boy, the grandson's got the, hanging onto the rope, and the old man's riding the mule. They get a little bit farther down. There's a couple old ladies sitting on the porch, having their morning tea, doing their, morning gossip. And, again, they greet each other. We're taking Hiney in to sell him. And again, they think he's out of earshot. And they say, look at that mean old man making his grandson walk all the way into town. He should have the grandson on the mule, and he should be walking. I mean, man, it's kind of a self-centered, self-serving old man. And man thinks, oh, that's right. You know, I don't want to seem like I'm, you know, selfish and self-centered and everything. So he hops off, puts the boy up on the mule, and they start, you know, the boy's riding in the town. The old man's got the rope leading the mule down the trail. They get a little bit farther down. There's a, you know, like a couple, husband and wife sitting out there. They greet each other. How you doing? Good morning. Blah, blah, blah. Great weekend. Taking Hiney into town. We're going to sell him. I don't use him anymore. Have a better life for him. And so they're riding into town, and the couple, again, thinking he's out of earshot, says, I don't know what is wrong with that old man. That is a perfectly good, perfectly strong mule. Why does one of them have to walk? Isn't that kind of stupid? Shouldn't they both be riding the mule then? Well, the man doesn't want everybody to think he's stupid or, you know, dumb or anything, so he hops up behind the boy. So now you got the boy in front, and you got the man on the back. So they ride on down. They're coming to a gorge where there's, you know, you got this wooden bridge going across, and they're big, you know, river way, kind of like you see where Wile E. Coyote might fall off, you know, all the way down to the bottom. And so, you know, it's all rocky, and then you got this little, you know, mountain river running at the bottom. Well, right before you get there, there's another house. And a couple of old farmers are, you know, out there looking at the grass and the garden and everything, and they greet each other. We're taking Hiney in. We're going to sell him. I can use the money. I don't need Hiney anymore. He can, you know, go on to greener pastures and do better things. And so they're riding him on, and the two old farmers say, man, that old man is dumb as a box of rocks. He ain't got any sense. By the time he rides that mule, both of them ride that mule all the way into town, going to be, you know, broke back, all worn out. Nobody's going to want to buy the mule anymore. It's going to be an old, used up mule. Whether he's any good or not, he won't appear to be. The man thinks, you know what? I don't want to appear like I'm dumb or stupid. That's probably a good idea. So him and the boy get off, and the old man says, I got a plan. So him and the boy get up underneath the mule and pick the mule up. So they got the mule on their shoulders. They're going to carry the mule the rest of the way into town. Well, as they start to come up on the bridge, you know, the bridge kind of comes up a rise and goes over. And you know how you may have an old wooden threshold in a house? Been there for years and years. It kind of gets, after, you know, walking on it for, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, kind of gets that shiny look to it. It gets a little slick. Guess what? That's right. They come upon that. They step on that kind of slick part, because they got the weight of the mule on their shoulders. They kind of slip and pitch Hiney right over the side. Hiney goes all the way to the bottom. Bam! Dead as a mule. Dead as a doornail. That's it. No more Hiney. He is done for. And that's the end of my story. Story is over. Wasn't that a cool story? Oh, you want the moral to the story? There is a moral to the story. The moral to the story is, you try to please everybody, you're going to lose your Hiney. Did you like that story? Hey, it is something we can live by today. You know what? The old man should have known he was in trouble when he got his Hiney on his shoulders. Don't ever get your Hiney on your shoulders. So anyway, that's it, guys. Just having a little bit of fun today. We'll catch y'all next time.